Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to an event quest guide. Yes, we're doing one of those. So yeah, if you want to check out the link in the description, it will take you to the spreadsheet, the normal monthly spreadsheet that I produce, which has all the different kind of like paths, nodes, as well as options. There's tons of options. I think trying to kind of keep up to date with all the extra options is always a bit of a difficult one, but there's lots to kind of go over in this particular video, so go and check out this spreadsheet in the link in the description. It's also got like different tabs at the bottom of it where you can click towards the boss breakdowns, and if you don't want to like listen to me, then go and check it out and have your say. If you used any of the different champions than the ones I've suggested, put in the comment section. I try as best I can to cover as many champions to use, but do bear in mind there's over 250 in this game, and trying to remember all of them, their interactions, test everything out, and try to get this video out in a 48-hour time frame is normally pretty tricky to do. But in any case, let's get down to work. So your first one is 1.1. In 1.1, the node is Relentless Mutation, Healing Factor, Just a Scratch. Those are kind of the base level ones. So some of the champions that you can use against this will be some of the following. Jubilee, because she has prowess buffs, and that's kind of mainly it. But of course, like easy access prowess based champions are some of the best ones to go to. They're not exactly the ones to go with, but as well, regen mutants are going to be very kind of helpful as well. Some of these here, Weapon X as well could be one that's on the I haven't put on the list. I'll probably put that in when the video goes live and when the spreadsheet goes live, but go and check that out. From your boss side of things, so your boss for this is Luke Cage. Luke Cage has unblockable specials, heal prevention, accident prone, crisis of opportunity, and defective defense. Now for defective defense, if you're worried about disorient, then bring disorient immune champions, or Apocalypse. Kind of handy because, well, you kind of build him up on the route. But in a nutshell, he's a very I put in my notes like any champion works. Like literally don't have to worry about it. Like just kind of, well, just let him throw specials and keep your distance, and try not to block attacks. That's kind of it. Very easy to do. 1.2 is all about your skill-based champions. So for this is short-tempered mixed martial arts. So look, hashtag defender champions, thunderbolts and human attackers are going to be the ones to be tactical, meaning you can take the fury burst from fight to fight. But of course, you can just use certain types of skill-based champions for this one. So one of the main things is, as it says right here, I shall bring to shot better. Distinctive debuffs. Attackers gain cross charge each time they inflict the defender with an armor break, bleed, or physical vulnerability. So do bleed or physical vulnerability, and you'll be able to get the benefits of the buff. Personally, for me, I feel it's more advantageous to bring in those tactical-based champions. So bring in defenders Well, do you have Deadpool? Some people have Deadpool. Red Hulks, your Namor, your Hawkeye, Abomination, Craven Hunter, America Chavez, of course, Ghost, Juggernaught, great champion by the way. 7-star Awakened version is very nice. But then there's other options like Medusa, Photon. Take your pick. I think really either skill or just check your tags and see if you've got any options for this. So from a boss perspective, this one is Hood. Honestly, again, another champion. It's not really much to worry about. Are you worried about Dazed and Confused, aka Miss? Well, use Miss counters if you feel that that's going to be the way to go. In my notes, I've put Nick Fury, Omega Sentinel, Human Torch if you fancy. But to be honest, I think I ended up using like Bishop against this, and it was fine. You just really got to watch out for Bane. Kind of burnout whenever defender does special attack, they gain a burnout charge, increasing their special attack. Again, nothing really to worry about. Just use, if you're worried about miss, use miss counters. If you're not, I think you'll be fine with it. On to 2.1, and this is all about using tech-based champions. So For this, you want to be using the following. Champions that build armor buffs quickly, and there's a lot of them. So, Warlock, Silver Warrior, Hulkbuster, Iron Man, Infinity War, Vision, also that, I think Power Control kind of ends into that. But I would say go for some of the more kind of recent ones, which are really kind of good. Tech Doom, Guillotine 2099, that's not really new, but you know what I mean. Nimrod, especially facing off against like Mutants, Vision, Future Ant-Man, to name but a few. There's tons. Go and check. If you've got an armor buff based tech champion, it's probably going to do a solid for you. When it comes to the boss, however, this one is going to be your Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen. Again, lots of options for this. If you don't know in the spreadsheet, there is a little bit of a write-up, a little bit write-up-ish and a breakdown of certain things. So for this, I've chosen any Mystic. Like if the champion has got stuff like, where is it? I think it's one of them that builds buffs. I think it's Dodge. Is it Dodge Souls? Defender has a 95% chance to block penetration and can perform critical hits. Whenever attacker successfully dodges or evades an attack, they gain an... Oh no, that's for you. But it's every 5 seconds, the defender gains a 10-second Fury buff, increasing rating by 20%. These buffs start pause, blah, blah, blah. Right. The point of that is you could look to nullifiers for that particular situation. You could use to like something like Morningstar, kind of slap in a big SP2. So look, there is options to take this down how you see fit. I think I ended up using a mutant for it. You could just use Bishop. You could bring in a Wags to do a pre-fight like parry passive. Look, it's up to you how you decide to take this down, but there's going to be there's tons of ways to look at it. Whether or not you go the nullification route, the buff punishing route, the mutant class advantage route, or something else. 2.2 now, and this is your Mr. Negative build-up. So on your path side of things, you do have 1-2 punch, and the other ones which I'm not going Avarice and Erudite route. I don't know if that's even saying it right, but of course many different champion options for this. Photon is an absolute MVP. I was so happy with the champion's performance there. Cassie Lang, Wasp, Spider-Ham with the power stings, the Immortal Abomination, Petrify, weakness debuff, Void, Human Torch, Power Stinging. You know, there's She-Hulk with Mr. Fantastic synergy. There's tons. A lot of fun. You can even use Mr. Negative on the build-up. It's totally up to you. Oh, and Scorpion, Titania, Quicksilver as well. Sorry, they were up the screen there, but there's a ton of options for that. The end boss is Mr. Negative. This again is down to like how you choose to take this on. Is Acid Wash a bit of an issue? Not so much. Toxic Thoughts an issue? Not so much. The evasive maneuvers does seem as a bit of an issue. It may be slow debuff champions that you might want to use against this champion. I mean, for me, it was just a case of using Nick Fury. I use Nick Fury quite well against this. But don't write off the likes of, well, Archangel, She-Hulk, Scorpion. But look, it's up to you how you want to take this down. Is it slow debuff champions, or is it something that's kind of more creative? And I've seen some very creative random champions being used. A lot of people were just using Cosmic Ghost Rider. Like, there's all sorts of different champions to use. 3.1 now, and this is Arcane Zeal. So with Arcane Zeal, this is all about your mystic-based champions. So those particular ones are as follows. Doctor Doom on the heavy attack, stagger application. Same thing works for Juggernaught. I think you can use Absorbing Man pretty well. I know I've put that down, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Rintrah, Scarlet Witch, Mangog, another great example. Mephisto, if people use Mephisto. I've been using Black Widow Clairvoyant for this a lot of the time. And yeah, just whatever you've got that can do some kind of like easy stagger or nullification, that can be very effective. So check out your mystics first. Wong maybe? I don't know. Like I haven't tested that. There's a lot to test out, ladies and gentlemen. And then when it comes to the boss side of things, your boss is going to be that White Tiger. And for White Tiger, it's got Thriller, Scared Stiff, No Hit, Mercy, Buff, Footloose, Fatal Fury, Fatal Fury. What am I talking about? Fatal Fury. So look, there's lots of different champion options for this one. I've seen loads. So for White Tiger, Doctor Doom worked fine for me. Human Torch, bit of an iffy one. I did try, didn't really get a good enough rotation that I liked. Quicksilver can be used. Hulk, Archangel worked fine for me in the first kind of like instance of doing it. I saw someone use Stark Spidey, so whatever works for people. If there's another counter that you found work particularly well, hey, you go for it. On to Cosmic Grit. This is your 3.2. 3.2 is going to lead us up to Bullseye. But of course, bringing Cosmic Champions is going to be important for Cosmic Grit. You want to build your buffs as much as possible. And the varying options of choices can be found on screen right now. So Hyperion, Corvus, Odin. You can use anything with Odin cosmic wise because you're building those 3 Fury buffs, which allows you to do damage. Of course, there's some really amazing champions. I highly rate Gamora. Gamora was a fantastic option. Gallon was a really good option as well. You can use Hercules, but you've got to do the Odin pre-fight, and you've got to rotate around the SP1 of Hercules, but you've got to make sure that you're doing it as you're intercepting attacks, so therefore you benefit from doing damage and stuff. Anyone with Heimdall, potentially, look, it's going to be down to you what you got. Angela, of course, a great champion for most, if not all, of the various months of Event Quest, and that's it. Except for the boss. I nearly forgot there. So boss wise, a lot of people are using White Magneto for the setup in order to bypass Limber, and of course you need a hashtag metal or hashtag hero champion in order to benefit from the passive parry, which is good to counter that Limber. I've seen a lot of people effectively use Kitty Pryde, Storm. For me personally, I used Apocalypse once and it was okay, but I would recommend personally Warlock. I found that the rotation on the champion was just better. I did try Falcon, but I had some scuffy AI, so I wasn't really thoroughly test it. Saw someone use Cosmic Ghost Rider. Hercules ramps up on the path, so you could look to kind of use it right at the end. But Nick Fury was putting in a solid bit of work each time, and especially if you've got an awakened version, can do some effective damage for that. The boss in particular has the following nodes attached to it. Crit Me to Life, and then also it says that Daredevil's Classic and Hell's Kitchen and Mutant Attackers Special 1 deal guaranteed critical hit, and then also Crit Me Baby one more time. The defender takes 30% more damage from critical hit, but takes 90% less damage from all sources that are not critical. That's why I really enjoyed the parry heavy rotation with Warlock. Get him the White Mag synergy, White Mag's pre-fight, and he is absolutely fantastic. I do think that if you're not rotating around the parry heavy method, you want to have an evade countering champion. So of course check out various links and stuff, and as well it might be worth having a bleed immune as well, or something that's able to deal with extent of what could potentially be bleed based damage. So always look at your options, check what would be best, and of course very much good luck to you whatever choice that you make in taking this champion down if you haven't done already. Anyway, any case, thanks for watching this video. Check out some other content located on screen. Check out the spreadsheet in the link in the description. Have a lovely day. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.